Hey guys, I'm Will from Tested.
I'm Norm from Tested.
Norm, I have an unusual iPad 2 in my hand.
It looks like a normal iPad 2 to me.
I usually use a white one. This one's black, and it has the iOS 5 developer preview on it right now.
iOS 5, that's not even out yet. Now it's last week.
So we're going to take a look at the key features of iOS 5 over on the couch.
Both on the iPad and also on iPod Touch.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. So what we're looking at is the home screen. It looks exactly the same as the old home screen, but there are some new icons. Let's talk about the high-level stuff first.
Yep.
Wi-Fi, sync with iTunes. There's an option for that in here. I think it's not working with the current build of iTunes, the beta that they've released. But when you're syncing and plugged in here, it actually shows status and shows what's happening on this page when you're plugged in with a cable.
Yeah, you can actually see the top left-hand corner, a little bit of a sync icon animation going on right now.
Yeah.
Probably backing up this iPad to iTunes.
I think that's actually a photo sync right now. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though. The other big thing is, of course, notifications.
Yeah, you just pop that down.
Send me an iMessage while I show the folks this stuff. The way this works is you can you control what shows up in the notification center, which is the little thing that you swipe from the top to pull down. You're seeing it right now. Or it also shows how they're organized on the home screen. And you can choose whether or not individual applications rate placement on the lock screen. Oh, wait.
Oh, there it goes.
That's racist. You misspelled hello.
And iMessages replaces the Messages app. Look what you did there.
Oh.
Another kind of high-level feature.
I didn't even think about that. It's just natural after one day.
Switching between apps.
Yeah.
Basically, instead of having to tap the home button twice to see what active apps you have, you can swipe with 4 fingers, left and right, and go between apps.
Now, this only works on iPad right now. We tried on the iPod Touch. My guess is 4-finger swipe is too small for iPod Touch screen, and that Apple's usually pretty good about stuff like this. Let me show you how the notifications work. You can choose which type of alert each application that sends notifications uses. So the default is the new banner style. I like that. That's the thing that we just saw that pops down from the top of the screen. The old school alert you can do, or you can just say, no, I don't want to get pop-ups, just make a sound.
So let's scroll down the notification center to do a quick look at it.
Ooh, this is it.
Scroll down the actual notification center.
Oh, in the actual, okay, we did that a second ago.
Yep. So you can actually customize the order list. You can see, it's all app.
Well, right now it shows the most
sensitive.
recent stuff at the top.
Yes.
But if you have email in that list, that is always going to be email if you're like me. So I'm going to switch it to manual. I'm going to move, oh wait, I haven't switched it to manual. Now I'm going to switch it to manual. I'm going to edit. I haven't done
And then
this
you can
before.
change the order.
And you can change the order. So, oh my God, I got an iMessage again. When did you send that, Norm?
Just now.
Just moments ago. Okay, so as you can see, I'm going to put Twitter way up the top because I like Twitter a lot. And then as I get Twitter replies or whatever, they'll pop up here, and you'll get to see that stuff.
Now notifications also pop
really
up on the lock screen.
The lock screen as well. Now it's not going to show anything. Oops. Send us another message real quick. One of the things that's not in this build yet is the camera button on the lock screen, something they showed during WWDC. But isn't real yet. Oh, so here you go. Then the more calendar stuff you get. The neat thing about this is you can actually touch it and swipe to the right, and it takes you directly to iMessage where you can reply. You look very serious in that interrupt massage. iMessage, of course, works with multiple connections. The thing that is unclear to me so far, because I haven't actually hooked up to a phone yet, is like with FaceTime, you always had this problem where you didn't know if you were sending to the phone number or to the email address, and sometimes there was a lot of confusion around that. It seems like they're just associating.
It's either phone number or email address for iMessage, and if you type it in, for example, you're on obviously
iPad 2.
iPad 2. If you go to iMessage and you start typing in my name, it'll be my phone number or my email. I probably don't want to show that.
I'm not going to show that, but yeah, let's.
But it will connect with Apple servers and say, oh, there is no iMessage account connected with this phone number.
If you're on a phone, theoretically, you would send a text.
It would automatically send a text.
The problem comes with FaceTime. Like the problem with FaceTime was always if you can't associate a phone number with FaceTime on the iPad. So if somebody uses the phone number to FaceTime you, they're always going to go to the iPhone for it. Kind of a drag. Another high-level feature you want to talk about, reminders next. This is a brand new app.
Yep.
Kind of cool.
It's basically a more organized way
of doing portrait only right
notes,
now. Oop, wait,
notes
nope,
and calendar, as opposed to going to the calendar, creating an appointment.
Task lists are nothing new.
Yeah.
The neat thing about this is that you can location gate tasks.
So, for example,
so I can say don't
keys wallet phone.
Keys wallet. Okay, we'll do keys wallet phone. This is what Norm says every time he leaves the office. I guess it's the modern interpretation of
I do the
spectacles, testicles,
three
wallet,
pocket
watch.
tap. Left pocket, right pocket, back pocket. Keys, wallet, phone.
Yes, he really does do this. So I'm going to say, remind me, let's see, we could say on a day. That's super boring, though. Let's add a location. Remind you. So now it's going to say, remind me when I am,
Leaving.
remind me when I'm leaving. It's not, I'm doing something wrong here. There we go. When let's say when I leave the office.
The office, sure.
Yeah. Current location, 94111. Now, I tried this yesterday on the iPod Touch. It didn't work, but it could just be because there's no GPS in the iPod Touch. This may end up being a
Something that works best with the
feature.
iPhone 4.
Except
or the iPhone 3GS.
if you don't have your keys and you've gotten out of range of this thing,
Or if I don't have
and
my
you don't have your
phone,
phone,
yeah, so it really
then
only works
You're
for
not
the
going to get
wallet.
back in the office to get the phone. So
Yeah.
really, this should just be called wallet.
Wallet.
Okay, it's a terrible idea. Photos are kind of interesting. New stuff is happening here. You can take a photo. Well, first off, there's basic editing. Well, before we do that, note the number of photos on this screen. It looks like a reasonable number of photos,
that's
correct?
all right.
Okay. You can edit photos. For example, you can rotate. You can enhance. Well, I think it's just one click enhance. You can't super enhance. It's not 24. Were there somebody with red eyes in this picture, you could remove that. Or you could crop it in. Maybe I just want to show only. I'm trying to crop. Croppy. Wait, here we go. Boom.
Ooh, I do like that animation.
That's pretty cool. You can't seem to move the crop window.
You can't crop
A little bit of a bummer.
Crop back out? Pinch back out?
You can pinch back out.
Get rid of the red eye in this computer monitor.
So what just happened though is I just saved a new version of this theoretically with the cropped in version. I'm going to get rid of the red eye here. I don't think it's going to do anything.
Nope. I got
Your
no red
eyes
eyes.
aren't red.
So in
Okay.
addition to the Photos app, the camera app also has some changes. I don't know if you can show that
I can show
on
that
the,
here.
on
Yeah,
the iPad.
iPad too.
On the
Oh,
I guess
wow,
it's
this
the
is
same
gonna show my
camera as
face.
the iPad or the iPod Touch. Or you can use the rear camera.
It's not.
It's not working.
Maybe camera doesn't work on HD when you were HDMI mirroring.
That could be it as well.
Actually looks like it might have crashed. This is a good point to mention that this is a really crashy build. I mean, not unexpected. It's a beta.
Yes.
You kind of.
This is not a
you pays
review
your
of
money
iOS 5.
And you takes your chances. We're just showing you what's kind of coming, what looks cool and neat.
Yeah, so the grid lines you can turn off or on. Instead of the HDR button that you normally see in the iPhone 4, there's an options menu now for the camera app. And
there we go.
There we go. So, there you go. So you can actually hold and tap,
Tappa.
hold and tap, hold and tap, tap and hold. And there it goes. Now you have auto exposure and focus lock.
Oh, really?
It says on the bottom of the screen, AE lock.
Cool.
So,
I'm going to do that again.
There you go. Tap,
Okay.
tap. And there, AE lock.
Look at how blurry.
Uh,
Fear the blurry, Chad. No. I'm going to take a picture. Boom. This is not a flattering angle. And then, of course, you can go back over here. The thing that you guys can't see because we're not. Oh, that's a terrible picture. The thing you can't see is that these pictures will pop up on the camera roll on the iPod Touch that's attached to the same account momentarily.
Yes.
Pretty cool. I mean, I know I never ever
Always
shoot
be
pictures.
syncing.
Yeah, I never shoot pictures with the iPad, but I do with the iPhone. I'd love to be able to look at them on the iPad.
Yeah, without having to connect to iTunes.
Yeah, I mean, connect, sync. Other things that have changed, the music app is all new.
Yeah,
new
it
design, new look. You can connect to home share, although that doesn't seem to be working in our office, probably due to some limitations of our local network. But these are all songs that I downloaded from iTunes. Yeah. And these other songs are songs that I bought from iTunes but have not been downloaded. I don't know what that means, but I can play Air if I want. You can see the old cover art flow, you know, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah. I like the iTunes interface in the existing iOS.
Oh, hey, here we
I
go.
don't know if that needs to be changed, but it does look a little cleaner.
Well, the other thing that's nice is I think they had this ability with one of the later additions to 4.0, but you can also connect to like a home play.
Let's see how it looks in landscape mode or portrait
Okay.
mode.
We're gonna confuse Anna. I don't know if it's gonna change. I might have it locked.
And it doesn't change. Again, a early developer build.
Yeah, I mean this is not a huge surprise. This is a more fully featured developer build than we've seen in the past from Apple. So yeah, new iTunes. Of course, the big thing is Wi-Fi syncing for music and stuff like that.
Safari's
I'm so
also
excited about
changed.
that. Safari's new. There's new features in Safari. You'll note tabs.
Now, are there
Oh.
gestures to swipe between tabs?
Oh, that is a good question.
That's what I would
found
want.
that yet. I haven't. I found that Safari for this build is it's not very good. Why do you need gestures? The tabs are right there on the screen.
Well, the tab's right there. That gives me a visual indication of what I have open. I want to be able to, because gestures are the future. I want to be able
You
to
love
easily move
gestures.
between tabs without having to click.
Okay. The big
Or
feature,
tap.
of course, here is the reading list. It's not super useful when all of your devices aren't running iOS 5, but if you did, then say, for example, I would like to add, let's add Firefox 5 tweaks idle connections for faster page loads. I'm going to add this to my reading list. Add to reading list. Now,
There you go.
there's my reading list. And a brief period of time later. Now, we talked about reading list and Instapaper on the podcast the other week. One of the things that is interesting about reading list is it doesn't actually cache local copies. So it's no good if you're going to be on a train or on a plane
It's
or
just
someplace that you
bookmarks.
don't have internet access. It is really just bookmarks. And
Yeah.
here's the reader view.
That's what I wanted to see.
So yeah, I mean, this is just like in Safari for the desktop. You know, I'm okay with this. I think it's a little cheesy, but I like the big benefit for
big
me of
thing is-
Instapaper is the caching, not the stripped
The
down
reader view
view.
is going to be good for like really long multi-page articles. I don't want it to ever
Yeah,
have
if
to
you're
read
reading a
10-page
5-page article.
ever again. Let's actually see if we can test that.
This is a 2-page article.
All right, I just want to turn it to one
I'm
page.
clicking reader. There's page
and-
1.
Yep, there it goes. Page
And
2.
there's the next
It's loading.
page loading.
Oh,
So that's kind of interesting.
That it does one page at a time, which makes sense.
Yeah, I mean that way you're not hitting people for bandwidth that's not being
Yeah.
used. I like this. I mean, I can't see it as being something I really would use that much. The offline version is much more useful in the
Standardized
Instapaper
fonts.
sense.
I
but
like
it's-
serif fonts.
It's fine. What else we got on the list here?
So a lot of Twitter integration also built in iOS
Oh,
now.
that is an interesting thing to point. You'll note that Twitter is right up here with iCloud and FaceTime now. You've just put your username. You have to install the Twitter app, the third-party one. The one that's shipping now is not fully integrated. It doesn't work exactly the way you'd expect. But you can also sync your contacts. It'll pull down all your information from Twitter. That I found was pretty low use because the people who are in my contact list aren't necessarily people I'm following on Twitter.
But if you go to, for example, Photos or Safari, there's now
Yeah,
an
this is-
option directly to share this image on Twitter.
I'm going to post a picture that you took a minute ago of yourself.
Look,
This
the,
one's
the
good.
shoes
You wanna do
photo,
the shoes?
actually, that's something I took with the iPod Touch.
This is something that popped up from the iPod Touch. We're going to tweet it out right now. These
Shoes, yo.
are Norm's. I always do this when I'm tweeting. Boom.
Nice little sound effect.
Right from Twitter, right there. I mean,
Same
that's
with Safari, you can share links.
Yes.
And speaking of that little sound, notifications are also much more customizable now in terms of like vibrations and accessibility. So
That's only on contacts, though. Contacts, they've updated the ways that you can notify. Still, it seems like no SMS customization. You can't add your own
yes,
SMS.
but there are more
tones.
accessibility options, so you can have custom vibration alerts. Have,
Okay.
for different, like for email or for iMessage. And you can even have the LED light on the iPhone 4 blink whenever you get a new notification.
Other stuff that's changed, video player is a little bit different. And of course, you can pull these across from the network as well. So there's my MacBook. We'll connect. It'll probably take like 10 minutes. Mail.
So Mail is also updated a little bit. For example, you can slide your messages bar off to the side like you just did, or bring it back.
Instead of it being a pop-up.
So
Because it used to be
Yep.
just be a pop-up, right?
now you can just slide it off to the side,
Okay.
and you can flag your emails.
I can flag them?
Yes, you can.
How do I do that?
You can mark as important. Let me see.
That may not be in this build. Mark.
There you go.
Mark as important.
Flag.
Or mark as red.
There you go.
I
Flag
like
it.
both of those things. Oh, you think I should flag it?
Flag it.
Oh my God, there's a flag.
It's red.
This is pretty exciting stuff.
One new feature which may or may not be useful for you is the ability to split
Oh
your
my
keyboard
God!
in two. So
My
if you're a
keyboard
thumb
just
typer,
split.
does this make it easier for you to type
This
while holding the iPad in portrait
is
position?
very weird.
And you can actually
to
move.
be-
So hold and drag one side. Hold and drag one side.
Oh my God, it can go. It's not
Oh.
holding, dragging.
Maybe that's not how you do it. Maybe use multiple fingers. Gestures. It's always gestures.
I don't think
Gesture
it goes
base.
up and down yet. Wow.
Whoa, it's a weird animation.
The keyboard feels very small this way. I'd have to use it much more to make any kind of reasonable judgment
Yes, or
about
shrink your
whether this
fingers
is
down.
good or not. It is definitely easier to thumb type holding the giant iPad this way than it is using the other one. But whether you can be accurate or not, I'll try it out and see. I'll use it for a little while.
Yep, and also in Mail now there's rich text editing, so you can add indents. You can.
That's
do
a bad
italics,
feature. You should never use rich text in Mail
because there's a lot of code that.
because just
yes.
use just plain text.
Plain text. Always
No
use plain text.
HTML.
Yeah.
New photo booth filters.
Oh, exciting.
Who doesn't love some
Wow.
good photo booth filters?
Light tunnel is always my favorite. Always traveling through time. Oh my God! It's like looking into the face of God.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa.
What was that you said? Hello?
Oh my goodness.
I can't hear you. I'm just a giant mouse.
I'm really scared right now. Something I forgot to mention, iMessage, which is obviously a huge feature. When we tested it over Wi-Fi, push was near instantaneous. You actually can set up so you can get receipts. You can get receipts not only for delivery, you can get receipts so you know that someone has read your iMessage. And there's also real-time alerts for when someone's actually typing a message to you.
I'm sorry, were you talking?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything else?
No, that's
Notes
pretty
sync.
much
Oh,
it.
let's look at the iCloud stuff real quick.
Yep.
There's a ton of stuff that's changed in the control panel, actually, the settings app. iSync, you can sync everything here. If you want to do pull your purchases down from iTunes, it's only music right now. It seems like they don't have any kind of deal on video. And of course, you can. Sorry, you have to go to the store, not to the iTunes thing. You go to iTunes. You go to the purchase playlists along the bottom, and it shows you everything you've bought. You can then just go through and say, okay, I'm going to download the Frank Sinatra Christmas album. And it asks you for your password, which I'm not going to type in for fairly obvious reasons. And it just downloads in the background. That's what the little sync thing in the background is probably in this case.
And also, one last thing for
Maps.
for FaceTime. Oh, we'll show maps, alternate routes. For FaceTime, you can actually do FaceTime over 3G now. The capability is built in, but that will be carrier dependent. I think Verizon has already said they're not going to allow FaceTime over 3G. It'll use too much bandwidth.
Yeah, they're making good decisions on that. I'm okay with that. I mean, the fact that it's a carrier decision is the right way for that to be. It shouldn't be something that the vendor decides. So I'm going to route to the airport, directions 2 here.
And you have multiple routes.
Do I have multiple routes?
You sure do.
Where do you see them?
One is darker and one is lighter.
Oh, wow. There are different colored lines on the screen. I totally missed that. I'm going to go back. I don't know that I can go back. Oh, here we go.
My advice is always take 280.
Always take 280. This is interesting. So yeah, it is totally giving. There's 3 different routes. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, so that's really cool. Of course, the thing I'm most excited about with the whole new iOS thing is Untethered Launch. You don't have to plug it into a computer to set this up anymore, and you can back it up to the iCloud service. It's an unfortunate name. It's a good service. It's not working right now because beta OS, whatever. I just tap the button. Usually it takes about 2-3 minutes to back everything up, and then you're there.
It's not the backups too. It's only going to back up what's changed.
Yeah, well, it only backs up what's changed. It backs up settings for apps. It doesn't back up your media stuff because that's huge. But if you ever go here and hit erase all content and settings,
Oh my goodness.
no!
What's going to happen? Are you going to have to plug this
my
iPad
God.
into your computer?
No, we can just leave it straight plugged into HDMI.
So,
Oh my God!
so we just formatted the iPad, nuked it,
My finger slipped.
and without having to plug the iPad back into a PC, you can actually just
It
activate
just says we should slide to set up.
Go set it up.
Should I slide?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. So it asks me what language I speak. It is English. It asks me where I live. That is the United States. It asks me the network name. So I just typed in the password. That's
Yep.
all that happened there.
That's our Wi-Fi network.
Yeah.
Logging in.
We're going to log into the network. As soon as it connects, we can hit next. And then it's going to say, oh, we need to activate your iPad over the miracle of the internet. That's happening right now.
So you do need to have Wi-Fi.
You do need to have a network connection.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes.
Oh my God. It's set up.
And
right now,
there
I
you
can
go.
restore from an iCloud backup.
Yep.
Now, I don't have an iPad backup because, as we noted earlier, I just accidentally erased that when I wasn't really thinking about it that much. But, okay, so now I got to type this in again. Okay, so now it wants to know which iCloud backup I want to use. I'm actually going to restore an iPod Touch backup to this because that's just the way I'm rolling today. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to pull settings, installed apps, settings for the installed apps, all that kind of stuff, and it'll restore it. It took like 3 minutes last time I did it. Boom, the little bar is moving, and then it will reboot, and the iPad will be just as I left it. So I'm very excited about cloud backups. There's a little bit of concern that, you know, when something goes bad, you'll be completely boned because you won't have access to the files. But, you know, I say you got to take your chances occasionally. And we're back.
There you go. You recovered the iPad using your iPod Touch's backup. So
Yeah.
actually that wallpaper, and this wallpaper is actually the iPod Touch
Straight from the iPod Touch.
That's pretty neat.
Now, one thing that doesn't happen is, you know, if you've been using encrypted backups in iTunes, you will not get prompts for passwords and stuff like that because it saves the keychain when you restore to a new device or whatever. That's not the case with the online backups for now, which I'm fine with. I don't want it saving all my passwords up there, especially if they're not going to be encrypted. I trust the cloud, but, you know, not that much.
So there's a first look at iOS 5 based on the developer build, and let's go back to the bricks.
So that is a first look at the iOS 5 developer preview. It's still beta, so, you know, think the rough edges we saw will almost certainly be gone.
And obviously, we didn't show you every single new feature on iOS 5, just the high points. What did you like?
I love the iMessage stuff. I think that's going to be really cool, and I love sticking to AT&T. Plus, syncing across the internet or Wi-Fi, whether to iTunes or to back up your tablet, really, really cool.
Obviously, notifications I love a lot. It's going to be very customizable.
Yeah.
Can't wait to use it on the phone. Some other features like reminders, it's okay. Nothing really new.
It's neat, but I mean, the notifications and the iMessage stuff are a huge catch-up for Android especially. So.
Obviously, we didn't show you iOS 5 on the iPhone 4, so there are more features there, and it's obviously not out yet. As we get closer to release in the fall, we'll have more stories and more features.
Tons more
coverage.
content. Yeah. So see you guys next time. I'm Will.
I'm Norm.
Bye.
Bye.